Hi there. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Today we're going to talk about one of the most foundational principles of physiology and thereby of your health. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Many mechanisms in the body operate to keep the internal environment of the body within the exact physiological parameters required by your cells in order to function properly. This state of balance is known as homeostasis, and it's the topic of today's episode. Welcome to Everything is Health is Everything, episode number 8. My name is Dr. Daniel Keren. I am a chiropractor, and I am dedicated to bringing you value-packed, health-creating content in a way that respects both your time and your intellect. And welcome back. Homeostasis is a concept concerning the constancy or a state of a steady, balanced physical and chemical internal environment in which the cells of the body can live, survive, and thrive. This dynamic state of equilibrium, the condition of optimal functioning of an organism, can be conceptualized in a variety of ways. I like to think of it as a wall full of dials, each dial representing a particular physiologic parameter. Whether it be pH, fluid balance, ion concentrations, heart rate variability, temperature, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, and each of these dials must be constantly fine-tuned in order to keep the body within a certain homeostatic range. These variables need to be regulated not only in the context of one to the other, but also in the context of the constant changes that are going on in the external environment, changes in diet, and also changes in levels of activity. The more things change, the more the body's natural resistance to change needs to kick into high gear in order to maintain the optimal internal conditions of the body. Let's take a quick look at how this equilibrium is maintained. Well, needless to say, all of this is going on under the watchful eye of the nervous system, which in previous episodes I said really only has 3 functions: to perceive its environment, to integrate and process the data collected from the environment, and to formulate a response to whatever stimuli it might be encountering at any time. And that's pretty much the way to describe the processes that maintain the balance and equilibrium of homeostasis. Homeostatic control also has 3 independent components for each variable being regulated: a sensor, a control center, and an effector. First, the body needs to perceive a change via stimuli that are recognized by a sensory or receptor component. We have a variety of sensors in our bodies, such as thermoreceptors, which sense changes in temperature, or chemoreceptors, which sense changes in our internal chemistry, or mechanoreceptors, which sense physical changes. Information collected by these sensors is passed on to a control center for processing. The control center sets the optimal range, the acceptable upper and lower limits for any variable. The control center will then pass on appropriate commands to an effector, such as a muscle, organ, or gland, which will then begin to function to bring about actions aimed at maintaining the life-enabling balance of homeostasis. The loop will then be closed by the negative feedback provided to the receptor, which then stops signaling the control center. So right about now, you might be saying to yourself, what's this guy talking about, and why should I care about it anyway, all this automatic stuff going on in my body? I don't do it consciously, so why do I need to know about this? Well, shut the front door and listen up. The more you understand the nuances of the intricate workings of the simply amazing body that you've been entrusted with, the more you'll learn to give respect to the gift that you've been given. When you understand that this complex balance of homeostasis can be disrupted by consuming unhealthy foods or otherwise toxic chemicals, or by sleep deprivation, or by any of the many ways that we can misuse our bodies, then you'll likely develop expressions of appreciation for your body, like giving it the proper fuel, adequate and appropriate levels of exercise, and the rest it needs to recover and heal. So, by now I'm certain that it's completely obvious to you that you have a very, 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 very clever body. Sometimes too clever for its own good. The body is so good, in fact, at adapting to stressors and maintaining a dynamic equilibrium that signs and symptoms, such as pain, are very late signalers that you might have a problem. They are not the first to appear. That is why it is so important to pay attention to the small signs. We can often feel a little discomfort or soreness or a little tired, lethargic, or just not 100%. All signs that we are not operating at optimal function. Don't ignore the subtle messages that your body is communicating with you. When you put the subtle signs at the bottom of your to-do list and you don't treat your health as what it truly is, your number one asset in life, then there is a price to be paid for foolishness. With spinal health being an integral component of nervous system health, chiropractic care is a vital component for restoring and maintaining homeostasis. So what's the takeaway message from today? Keep this concept of homeostasis at the front of your mind as you go about your daily life, and continually ask yourself the question, how are my thoughts and behaviors affecting my homeostasis, and adjust them accordingly. So thank you for watching this episode. My goal, as always, is to elevate your understanding in order to affect your mind and ultimately your behavior, and thereby moving you that much closer to a healthy, balanced state of being. I'm Dr. Daniel Keren, reminding you to always remember to never forget that everything is health is everything. Have an amazing day.